Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, PattSun, and today we're gonna be taking a look at r/TrueOffMyChest, where OP is doing something very stupid and I can't understand why. Let's begin. 9 months out and still feeling it. Posted by Reddit user Chin Higante.
It's been 2 months since we broke up. I've spent hours in therapy and plenty of time in the good company of people that care about me. Unfortunately, there are very sad days, today being one. I saw her car at the house of the guy she cheated on me with. I lost my composure and instantly started texting and calling her. Every time I get to this point, it's to get validation from her. I want to hear that she knows that she's fucked up. I want her to hear that I've been very open in the pain she has subjected me to. But at the end of day, I just want her to want me. Tonight ended with me apologizing for exploding and an assurance that I'll contain myself in the future. It's hard watching someone you gave everything to move on as if they merely tripped on a branch and got back up like nothing happened. I have good days and then I have days like this. How much longer will I keep finding myself in this loop wanting to be told she regrets what she did? I feel so broken and lose hope on ever getting over this. Update: I posted to this community almost 2 months ago now. A lot has changed since. I took the responses and feedback I got and implemented changes in my life that did make a difference. While it seemed like the end of my world when I was confronted with the actions of my ex, she doesn't dictate my days anymore. The very basis of having a great group of friends around is crucial to my well-being, especially early on. There were nights I didn't want to be alone because my mind went to terrible places. Friends got me through that. The use of therapy brought me to terms with reality and how I am better off. I recognize that things I want in a relationship were never even present in mine. I now know a lot more about myself that I previously wouldn't have said out loud. I take care of myself even more than I would have previously. Acceptance coupled with time is a remedy second to none. To those beginning this journey, it will suck. It will fucking suck. It is, however, a pain that you will overcome. You must focus on yourself and live as though that person is dead. Commit to seeing the best and happiest version of yourself and don't look back. Do everything for yourself because you are what matters most. There will be days where it stings, it might always, but much like a thunderstorm, the crash of thunder gets fainter as time goes by. You are in a storm. The key is holding your umbrella high and continuing straight on that path to clear skies. Sometimes you might want to set that umbrella down and get soaked. You're allowed to look back and see how things have changed, but you need to be able to keep going. You might have a setback, and that's okay. It does not destroy the progress you've made. You might think you've reverted back to the first cloud, but all you did is turn left instead of continuing straight. Knowing when to stop reflecting and sitting in your head is hard, but it is a practice that you will learn. Most importantly, what happened to you does not damage you. You are still the beautiful person you always were. The issue is not that we do not go back to normal, but we merely adapt. Tonight I saw her on the road and it still stung, but that's all I allowed it to do to me. I wouldn't have had this reaction months ago. I got to this point with self-control and rationale. Avoid habits or tendencies that will put you in the rain. If you don't have that self-control yet, that's okay. That's where support from friends, family, or even this community count. You will have that control in time. Just keep pushing towards it. So it's been 9 months since it ended. Been a long 9 months. The beginning was tough, but it got better due to proper steps being taken. Graduated university, got into caring about myself physically through the gym and skincare routines. A lot of fun actually, and putting my needs first. Last week, I feel as though I got derailed. The guy that she cheated on me with, now dating, reached out to me. This isn't the first time he has done this. I decided to be compassionate and I listened to what he wanted. Turns out he's dealing with a lot of what I had. I do not care about his troubles. I do not care about him. But no one deserves to go through the hell that was ending a relationship on those terms. He asked me a lot about what happened in our relationship and what the fights were centric to. He apologized for what he did and recognized his role in my pain. But all I heard on the other end was someone that was broken inside and conflicted on how to deal with her. I sympathized and that's why I offered what help he needed. Still don't like him, but I hate her even more. I thought it was a major win. I still kinda do. The happiness she found is a fraud and I thought it was hilarious. I went on a celebratory spree and touchdown danced all over it with all of my friends. Now as I write this, I think about where I am. I had been in a short-term relationship with a wonderful girl for a couple of months, but I couldn't do it. I feel as though I'm afraid of relationships. I feel as though no one connects to me as far as being a partner. I can't stomach one-night stands, so I don't partake. So I'm kinda just here. I'm living a life with great people surrounding me. I've got my shit on straight as I look to begin my career. But I'm lonely and afraid to try again. Her relationship being shit is not a win. This is something I've come to realize now. Her life should not matter to me. I do not miss her, nor do I dream of ever having her back in my life. I just don't know how to be a boyfriend again. I don't know how to like someone again. So I come here asking, what do I do now? Is this a matter of the waiting game? I feel as though I do not have the energy or passion to meet people. This isn't who I am, but it is who I've become. I don't like it, but I don't know how to deal.
OP, you're not afraid of relationships. You're afraid of getting hurt again. But from the looks of it, you're doing almost everything correctly. You just need two more things, my friend. You need to get some therapy to process the residual trauma, and the other, and arguably more important, stop being a damn donut. Who in their right mind would willingly be the emotional support and continue giving advice to the guy that your ex cheated on you with? OP, do you have any idea at all on how pathetic you are being right now? Seriously, do you have any form of self-respect? And now for today's second story. My adultery has ruined my life and I hate myself for it. Posted by Reddit user Alternative Grass.
I am writing this with a lot of pain in my mind. I don't expect people to give me sympathy. I just wanted to share my story so that people could take a lesson. So, please, before you cheat on your husband, wife, partner, think about what you are giving up for a few minutes of pleasure. I married my wife Annie about 13 years ago. Suddenly she becomes pregnant. I know it is kinda our fault because we didn't use protection every time. We dated for 3 years and tied the knot. Our marriage was great. We were really happy. We decided to keep the baby and our son was born. I thought our family was complete, but things drastically changed. My wife was always busy with our son. She used to be this fit girl who was always radiant, but she just looked like a zombie to me. She didn't care about how she looked while she was in public. I started to feel resentment towards her. Before I did anything stupid, I talked to her and gave her an ultimatum that if she doesn't go back her normal shape I would leave her. She started crying and saying that she is always exhausted and don't have time. I told her I would help her as much as I can, but looking back now I did the bare minimum. The trouble came when she was again pregnant after 5 years. All the hard work she has done was down the drain. She gained a lot of weight. I avoided her. Just looking at her made me sick. I was either at the gym or at the bar. I was looking for excuses to not come home. That's when I met a girl at my gym. She was hot and had a nice body. She was also very much younger than I was. We started talking. I felt alive again. I felt like someone is here in front of me who appreciates me a lot. A few days later, I went to her house and we hooked up. It was like a drug to me. I didn't realize that I was becoming more and more distant with my family. So, just like every cheater, I got caught. My wife found out that I was hooking up with someone else. She broke down in tears right in front of me. She kept repeating, "How could you do this to me? You broke our family." At that time, I did something bad. I am still ashamed of it. I yelled at her and called her a hag. I told her if she looked after herself, I wouldn't have cheated. That it is all her fault. My wife started laughing. It confused me. She said if I helped her, she might have had the time. I was never home and outside fucking some random girl. She told me she wanted a divorce right there. I was really hateful towards her and said, "Fine. You can, but you really think any man would ever want you with your baggage, my kids?" I could see it broke her and crushed her. I wanted that at that time. The divorce was settled. She only wanted the house. We shared the custody of the kids. The divorce felt a relief. I could be with my girlfriend whenever I wanted. But that is when I saw the changes. Whenever I was home, the house was not clean. There would be dishes in the sink for days. I remember looking at them and calling Annie, but Annie didn't live in my house. It became tougher when it was my weekend to have the kids. I realized I knew Jack's hit about my kids. My son was a picky eater. My daughter was still very little. She would cry a lot. It was exhausting. No matter how much I try, my son would have complained about everything and tell me that's not how his mother did it. That wasn't the end of the problems. Things with my girlfriend became bland way too soon. My wife would always have a home-cooked meal ready for me, but my girlfriend is just happy to have leftover or frozen pizza for all she cares. I was sick of it. Sex life was also very boring. My ex-wife was really great at sex. I never had any bad sexual experience with her. But my girlfriend lacked imagination. Also, she has really one-dimensional personality. My son really picked on things. He started resenting me. He was rude towards my girlfriend. My girlfriend would abuse him by calling him a brat. The last straw was when my son yelled at me and said that he hated me and my girlfriend would never be his mommy. It struck me like a thunder. Things ended with her right there. On the other hand, Annie started to change a lot. She lost a lot of weight. She looked relaxed and like her old self. I once complimented her that she looked good. I only got a cold thank you back. I got to know from a mutual friend of ours that she would sometimes say that the divorce made her realize she deserved better. And things got better because she had some time for herself. Before that, she had to clean up my mess, and now there is hardly any mess left. I was hit with another realization that I treated her badly. I never helped her when she needed my help the most. Annie understood me. She was kind and passionate. She was just going through a rough phase and I kicked her to the curb. I went into depression. I asked Annie if she could give me a chance. I don't blame her. From my son, I got to know she started dating an old friend of hers. My son loves him. My daughter calls him Dada. I tried my best for my daughter to call me that, but she didn't. I met them together at a business convention. That man had his arm around my Annie and was showing her off. I was angry. I felt this rage inside me. Later that night, I drank a lot and started to call Annie. I spewed nonsense that her new boy toy is nothing but a weak man that is dating a pathetic single mom like her. I know this because the next day she came to my house along with my parents. My parents ripped me apart and said to stay the hell away from Annie. I lost my kids, my wife, and I already lost my parents after the divorce. I never felt so alone. I wake on my bed empty. Annie would always cuddle me early in the morning. I missed her warmth. Things between my son didn't improve. He probably knows why me and his mother aren't together. A few months ago, Annie dropped a bomb. She said that she was pregnant. That was the moment I knew I lost her forever. From that moment, whenever I went to her house to get my kids, I would see how her boyfriend basically worships her and takes care of her needs. If I wasn't so stupid or arrogant and helped her, cherished her, we would still be a happy family. I guess this is my punishment. I have to see another man play family with my Annie and kids. So, please, don't be like me. If you really cannot, just divorce or break up with that person. I have hurt a lot of people because of my selfishness. Update. It has been 2 months since I posted on this place. I know I deserve all the hate comments I got. I know I am a piece of shit. I deserve to be miserable. And to all those saying it is a rage bait and that I am a troll, I am not. I needed a place to vent anonymously. I needed people to hear me. I knew that I would get hate messages. I know I deserve every ounce of hate you guys have for me and even more. But I know I fucked up. I know I was an evil person for what I did. This will always have a huge hole in my heart. I know I have to carry this guilt throughout my life. But to those who said I should get some help, I did. I have been going to therapy for a long time now. Therapy has helped me a lot. It made me a bit lighter. But still I had guilt and shame in my heart. I know I cannot go back in time and fix anything. But I am now trying my best so that I can be a better person than I was few years ago. The first thing I did was beg for forgiveness from Annie. I told her I knew I was an asshole. She didn't deserve the way I treated her. She is a kind and sweet person. She always has been. And this is my life's biggest regret, that I treated her so horribly, and all I want now is to be a good father to her son. And I wished her and her new family good luck. I know she picked a better man and I hope she gets everything she deserves. She said she forgives me, but she doesn't want any kind of relationship with me unless of course it is about the kids. I also sat down my son and said sorry to him too. I am an idiot that I didn't realize this whole thing put him and his sister in a weird position. I told both of them sorry individually. My son is still on the fence if he wants to forgive, but I try to be a better dad for them. I now understand I may never have the same kind of relationship with him, but I just want to do my duties as a father. I do not want them to become like me. Whenever they come to my place, I try to be more attentive towards them. My daughter does call me Papa now. I take them to get some ice cream or simply just on a fishing trip. My son likes to draw. I got him some art supplies. I know this will not buy me his love, but I want him to have everything. He has been a little more open towards me. He sometimes asks for my help with his homework. Annie and I also decided that we should take our kids to therapy. They have been through a lot because of me, and I accept the responsibility of the fallout. Lastly, I am not thinking about dating anyone. I know I do not deserve love in any shape or form. Moreover, I do not want to include a new person in my already messed up life. Maybe in a few years, but not now. Right now I just want to focus on my kids. Thanks to all of you who gave me some advice. It helped, and thanks for listening.
OP, you're a piece of shit.
You little You son of a f***ing I'm going to tear off your and shove them right up your and then on your with in the and your so then you'll have to sideways.
You only realize that you miss your ex-wife whenever you needed a maid to do some work for you or you're feeling horny and need a fuck buddy. Not because you actually love her. Not once did you ever mention here on your post anything about her as an actual person. The things that you loved, the things that you appreciated, the things that you missed. You never mentioned any of those. You haven't learned shit. You never loved her. You just played the part of a husband, played the part of a father. You're just playing family. But now, she actually has a man that wants to start a family with her. Listen, dipshit, instead of posting a pity party on Reddit, get out there in your community and do some good. Volunteer somewhere. Make someone's day better. Maybe then there's a chance that you might actually turn into a good person. But right now, you're still the same piece of shit. Good luck. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my channels for you to watch absolutely free. So please consider subscribing to me on Rumble and on YouTube. Both will be linked in the description box down below. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, consider subscribing to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.